Hey everyone, this is Gil. Decided to record a second video, this time on pilot assist. I just wanted to give a couple of my best practices as I've been using it. So when I first heard about pilot assist and watched some videos, I thought it was going to be pretty autonomous. You know, you just set it and forget it and you're off and driving. What I didn't realize is that there are certain cases where when you're approaching a stoplight, the car is going to obey everything that you told it to do. So it's going to set the speed, it's going to set the following distance, but then as you're approaching a red light or a stop sign with cars, it's going to just all of a sudden slam on the brakes. It's not going to be a nice smooth transition to a stop. It's going to be more of an abrupt kind of scary thing, because it's going to keep your consistent speed until it hits that radar point where the car in front of you is completely stopped and you're approaching it, and then it hits the three following following length distance or whatever you set it to, and it's gonna just hit the brakes really fast. So I basically don't drive without pilot assist. I just find it to be super convenient and helps prevent speeding and kind of not knowing where your speed is as you're driving. So I always set it, and after using it for about a month with my new 2017 XC90, kind of came up with some tips and tricks for using it. So let's go on a quick drive. Hopefully we can get a couple different scenarios in, and you can see what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and engage pilot assist. The other thing, if you're going over railroad tracks or anything like that where you're going to need some adjustment of speed, again, because you're setting it and you're basically telling the computer what to do, it's going to obey everything that you say. So if you say, I want to go 40 miles an hour, it's going to go 40 miles an hour over the tracks or anything else that is maybe not the best to go that fast over. So make sure that you're adjusting your speed, so as you approach tracks as you normally would, instead of tapping the brake because it'll disengage pilot assist, you can go ahead and just tap the down button on the pilot assist controls to lower your speed and go over the tracks at 20 or whatever you feel comfortable doing. The lowest that you can set your pilot assist for is 20 miles an hour. So we're approaching a red light right now. So if I leave the car, it's going to continue at my 40 miles an hour and approach the car in front of me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to tap the minus button to lower my speed without hitting the brake, and I can nice and easy transition into my stop. So you have to be engaged while using pilot assist. It is a really nice semi-autonomous feature, but again, it is semi-autonomous. It's not a full autonomous self-driving car feature. So I know the Tesla and some of the others have it. Volvo's got some dreams of doing it. I've seen some really cool concept videos. Hopefully that comes in the future, but for now it is semi-autonomous. So make sure you're paying attention and make sure you're adjusting your speed appropriately and using the controls as you go. So as I was saying with the turn signals, if you set the car to, let's say, 40 miles an hour and a car in front of you is doing 30 miles an hour, you want to pass them. If you put on your turn signal either left or right, the car is going to automatically start to speed up for your lane change, which is really great, for you to get back into the speed of traffic. But if you're approaching a stop sign, and in this case I want to make a right turn, I'm approaching a red light, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my turn signal, but it's going to try to speed me up to the speed that it's supposed to be at because the car in front of me was going slower. So again, I'm going to go ahead and take control. I'm going to lower the speed. We're approaching the red light, so I have to completely stop. The car in front of me is stopped. But because pilot assist is re-engaged, all I have to do is just tap the gas. So in this case, where I'm not going to go through the light and I don't want to keep my consistent speed, I turned off pilot assist and just hit the brake. So yeah, in short, just a couple things I wanted to get across about pilot assist. Again, it is semi-autonomous, so don't expect it to do completely everything. You're going to have to still stay engaged, still stay paying attention to what's going on. So if you set your speed, it's going to obey it. So if you're going over speed bumps, if you're going over railroad tracks and you don't want to go that fast, turn off pilot assist or lower it to a speed that you feel comfortable going over the tracks or whatever that kind of barrier might be. That's tip number one. Tip number two is if you're approaching a red light with cars in front of you, make sure that you are lowering the pilot assist speed, so that way you are going to coast in nicely and make a nice stop at 20 miles an hour as opposed to 40 or 50, whatever you had set it to previously. It will stop you, but you will be very, very scared as it approaches the car in front of you because you think that it's not going to stop. It's going to slam on the brakes. It's not going to be a really easy, kind of coast on the brakes as you or I normally would as we approach a stop sign or a red light. As you are approaching either a stop sign or a red light, and if you needed to turn either left or right, make sure you turn pilot assist off, because again, if you are at a speed that you're following a car at, let's say that you set your pilot assist to 40, the car in front of you is doing 35, when you turn your signal on, it's going to automatically start to accelerate you into your intended speed of 40, and that's not what you want to do. You don't want to take a turn at 40 miles an hour, at least I don't. So make sure that you turn off pilot assist and make your turn like you normally would. Just a couple things to help make your drive a little bit easier as you're using pilot assist, but again, can't speak highly enough of the feature. It's amazing. It's the only way I drive. If you haven't given it a shot, definitely give it a try, and feel free to drop any comments you have about pilot assist in the comments. If you have any questions, anything else that I can do to help make it a little bit easier. Again, I'm not an expert. Don't claim to be on any of this stuff. These are just things that I'm learning as I continue to use the car. If anybody else has tips or tricks that they'd like to share with me, feel free to drop them in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching, and look out for the next video soon.